he wants to save the Union, too.
It's an insider.
Sticking to the Union?
Insider.
As do we all.
And he also, in his debates with Douglas in 1856 or 8, said that he thought blacks were inferior. I don't think he thought they should have the right to vote, and he definitely believed that he spoke out against intermarriage.
And I think he said that they had the right to 3/5 of the food necessary for survival, 3/5 of the air, 3/5 of the water, and 3/5 of the clothes.
You want to do this next boring one?
Okay. This is...
Liven it up.
All right, I'll do my best. James Buchanan, first annual message to Congress, December 8th, 1857. But first and above, all our thanks are due to Almighty God for the numerous benefits which He has bestowed upon this people, and for our united prayers ought to ascend to Him that He would continue to bless our great republic in time to come as He has blessed it in times past. Since the adjournment of the last Congress, our constituents have enjoyed an unusual degree of health. The earth has yielded her fruits abundantly and has bountifully rewarded the toil of the husbandman. Our great staples have commanded high prices, and up till within a brief period of our manufacturing, mineral and mechanical occupations have largely partaken of general prosperity. We have possessed all the elements of material wealth in rich abundance.
However, this is the double whammy. However,
and yet, notwithstanding all these advantages, our country in its monetary interests is at the present moment in a deplorable condition.
How could that happen?
In the midst of unsurpassed plenty...
Somebody's not doing their job.
In all the productions of agriculture
around here,
and in all the elements of national wealth, we find our manufacture suspended, our public works retarded, our private enterprises of different kinds abandoned, and thousands of useful laborers thrown out of unemployment and reduced to want.
First the good news, then the bad news.
Something for everybody. He's sort of like the Clinton of his day.
That's right. It's like the prosperity we have today.
Like stagflation.
Yeah, is that, what line is that on, stagflation?
Well,
the BMT?
Yeah, it's around there. It's hard to get out of.
Retarded. He says something was retarded. Public works. That's it. Taking care of the public. When that aspect of the body, the contract, social contract thing there is overlooked, then things are in a deplorable state. I mean, what else could he have been talking about on the eve of the Civil War? Right?
Yeah, it was probably because...
they weren't taking care of the people who created the wealth. That's what he was talking about. A great man, James Buchanan.
Well, you know what one of the Southern arguments against the North, against the abolition of slavery, was that it was sort of, it had like 10% of it. They claimed that in the North, the white workers were wage slaves. They actually used that term. And that the black slave really had it better because...
Tolstoy, he wrote about wage slavery, the new slavery. I
think Marx used the term, too. Yeah. I don't think... it's earlier than all of these people, I think. Yeah. But the Southerners argued that in the North, the workers only had the means of subsistence when they produced, when they were making surplus. They didn't use that term. That's Marx's term. Surplus value for the bosses. But in the South, they were so much more generous that they would give these people food and clothing even when they weren't working, like in winter or when they were old. And that's really a very tricky and sophisticated, that is and horrible, clever. It didn't sort of, I don't think they convinced the black slaves, but they might have confused a few Northerners.
Bring back feudalism. That's when we really had it good, you know?
You mean? Well, you know, in the Middle Ages, Saints' Day were always celebrated, and the peasants would celebrate, the serfs would celebrate every Saints' Day, and there were over 100 Saints' Days. So if you add that all up, they would probably had a less strenuous working schedule than the slaves, the wage slaves, white, and the European wage slaves of the early Industrial Revolution in England and Germany.
You mean they had the day off for Halloween, stuff like that?
They had a good medical
Yeah.
plan, too. If you cut off your fingers with a saw, they'd grab a burning coal from the fire and sear your hands so you wouldn't bleed to death and
Well,
send
you
you
wouldn't
back
die
to
of
work.
penicillin.
Right.
And
Not too different from
do
today.
you know they also celebrated, in the early days of the Industrial Revolution in England, they missed these Saints' Days so much that when they wouldn't come in on Monday, you would get you would get a half a day off on Sunday. You'd work 6.5 days. So when they wouldn't come in on Monday, they said that they were celebrating Saint Monday. People still like that saint today, to this till it's Weary Monday. Bob, you want to tell us about another health plan for the District of Columbia, number 14? This is Franklin Pierce. His first annual message.
Oh, what were things
1853.
like in the country?
What?
What were things like in the country? What year was this? This was
1853.
1853.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was this before or after the popularity of opiated medicinals in this country? Do you know?
I think opiates were used back much earlier, probably
They were
in the
used
18th
first
century.
for in the Civil War, on a large scale.
Oh, on a large scale. Yeah, a lot of addicts
Yeah.
after that. the
But as
soldiers.
far back as 1853, were there, people
I think
who
so. Well, because
didn't know why they felt so jumpy after
From
they stopped
time
taking the
immemorial,
cold medicine?
from time immemorial in the eastern countries, opium was known as, it goes back to the Egyptians, it was known as a medicine. And it was used, it was also used as a child remedy to help children sleep, especially in England. And some of them had a long sleep. And I have ads at home in which they made something that was the equivalent of Coca-Cola, which originally was made with cocaine, from the
Dr.
cola leaf.
John Pemberton I think he patented it.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola recipe, the original Pemberton,
Well,
1876, something like that.
and there was also a wine that had cocaine in it, and it was portrayed as a stimulant and an adjuvant, and it had an endorsement.
For the
This is
Pope.
probably 1860s, I think, or a little earlier. It had an endorsement from the Pope. I wonder how much.
Truly an
And
angelic
they sent him a case.
preparation.
They sent him he wouldn't take money, so they sent him a case of this Van Viviani, I think they call
Yeah.
it.
The water of life.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to River of,
Please.
can we say it?
Oh, yes. If Erling Rhodey is listening, this is the man who made popular the song that described your overflowing sewer. I guess we can say the title of your song. Maybe you can even sing a few verses.
I wouldn't know such a dirty song as that. Well, I will sing another song. Do we need another song now? We always need a song, right? Maybe, I think you could sing this song.
I think I've sung enough.
No, I want you to sing this song because I'm going to sing too much later.
Last time I sung on the air, someone called up and said, "Was that you singing?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I can see why you're so bored by people who can sing."
No, you do very well. As a matter of fact, you're in my school of singing. The rehearse while you perform school. And I'll introduce this. This was a review that appeared of a book. No, it was a story about his new book coming out called 1999. And it appeared in 1988. This is an article in the New York Times. He said, this is Nixon. He's publishing the book called 1999 now because, quote, "I want to pass on that experience before I'm too old to articulate it." And it's to the tune of My Way, and it's called parents, I Killed Them My Way.
Well, I don't really know that other song, but
You sing it with me. Well, all right. You want me to sing it?
another book is near, and so I'll face the final critic, my friend. I'll say it clear, I'll stamp out my case.
For I'm too
Before I'm-
arthritic.
Before I'm too arthritic,
I've crippled
lives that were full,
mind each and every byway. And
much more
more,
than this,
much more than this,
I bombed them
my way. KIAs,
We had a few,
but then again,
too few to mention.
I killed whom I had to kill.
I
Drafted kids without exemption.
Except white middle-class college students.
I planned
Each foolish course
each crazy step,
along the highway.
and much more than this, I killed them
I killed them my way.
Did he bleep them or did he all right. I've dirty worded them. They shrieked and died. I've had my share of abusing, and now, as groans subside, I find it all
so amusing.
to think I did. Come on,
I did all that.
on may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no,
Not me.
no, not me. I slayed him my way.
Make no mistake about it.
At that